Hi folks, Steve from Martel Training Group. I just wanted to let everybody know that the process for applying for a permit to carry a handgun in New Jersey just got easier. It's an online application and I'm going to take you through it step by step and show you what you need to do. Let's get into it. All these links will be provided in the description, but you're still going to go through your local police department and get instructions from them. They'll provide you with the link, but I'll show you through the njsp.org website. You can access it, but you will need your local police department's ORI, that unique originating identifier number that is unique for every police department in the state of New Jersey. So you will need that number for your police department before you start your application. The online process is good for initial applications as well as renewal applications. So I'll go through what you need to have with you when you start the application and how to go about doing it. So let's get started. All right, folks. So again, you want to go through your local police department and get instructions through them, just like before with the paper application. They will provide you with instructions on tell you what to do. But if you go to the njsp.org website, you see on the very first main page, you scroll down here to firearms info. You click on this. It's going to open up. And you're going to see it's going to tell you if you're a New Jersey resident, the police department that serves your community, they have to assist you with your application. So if you reside in a state police jurisdiction, because the state police in New Jersey do cover multiple townships and jurisdictions in New Jersey where they are the local police. So you would go through that state police station. So you go through your local police department, you ask them for assistance. A lot of them have stuff online. You can just go on their website or Facebook page. Now, if you have dual residency, meaning you live in Pennsylvania, for example, but you have a house in New Jersey, then you must apply to the jurisdiction where you reside in New Jersey. So wherever that house is in New Jersey, you would apply to that police department. If you are just an out-of-state resident, say you live in Pennsylvania, but you don't have a house in New Jersey, but you want to apply for a permit to carry a handgun in New Jersey, you must apply to the closest New Jersey State Police station to your residence in mileage. So it cannot be a toll road station. So if you're close to a toll road station, it would not be that station. Now, there's a link here. If you're not sure, you click here, and this brings you to a list of all the New Jersey State Police stations in South Jersey, Central Jersey, and North Jersey. So they're all listed here with phone numbers and addresses. If you're not sure, you can give them a call and you can tell them where you live and see if they are, in fact, the closest station. And I don't know if you notice here, but there are no toll road stations on here. So you won't see the Atlantic City Expressway, you won't see the Turnpike or the Parkway here. Scrolling down the list here, you need this information before you start. You need your SBI number. So any kind of issue, SBI is State Bureau of Identification number. That's the number that everyone gets assigned once they're fingerprinted in New Jersey. So if you have any issues with that SBI number, meaning you've been fingerprinted for firearms, but you forgot what it is, or you're not sure, you need to contact your local police department. It stresses on here multiple times, do not contact the New Jersey State Police Firearms Investigation Unit. Go through your local police department. A lot of times they can do the lookup without even contact New Jersey State Police. Any kind of fingerprint submissions, go through your local police department. Again, don't contact the New Jersey State Police. Any kind of revisions. So for example, one of your references email address has to change, or it's a bad email address, or you decide you want to use someone else. You need to go through your local police department to make any changes. Don't contact the Firearms Investigation Unit, because the bottom line here, folks, is that once you start your application, your local police department is going to be doing this background, not the state police. A lot of the checks are done automatically through the system, but your local police department is doing the background. So you call up to the state police in West Trenton, and they're going to have to look up your application. They're not the ones that are going to be doing your background. So you need to go through your local police department. Any kind of status update, same thing, local police department. Now, the ORI number. This is very important. That's that originating identification number that it's unique to every police department in New Jersey. There's 566 some municipalities. Each police department has a different ORI number. Your police department's is very specific to to their department. A lot of times your ORI for your police department is on their web page or their Facebook page. So just do a Google search and you may find it. If not, call them and tell them what you're doing and you need the ORI. Now here, if you click on this, there's also a link here for any station in the New Jersey State Police stations along with their ORI. So if you do live in a state police patrolled area, or you're an out-of-state resident and you're applying for a permit to carry in New Jersey, and you find the closest station to your geographical location in your state, whether it's Delaware or Pennsylvania, for example, or New York, here are the ORIs for all the New Jersey State Police stations. So for example, if it's Bridgeton Station, here's your ORI that you need when you do your application for Bridgeton, and so on and so forth. All the stations are here that are relevant with their corresponding ORIs. So here are the choices, folks. So we're going to go here, apply for a permit to carry a handgun. We're going to click here, brings us to this screen here. This is all new. They just released this. So it's telling you right here, it's giving you instructions and telling you what you need. It's allowing you to submit an initial and a renewal application. Now, a permit to carry in New Jersey is good for 2 years. So, and a renewal, it's saying here that it can be submitted up to 4 months before you expire. So don't wait till the last minute to submit this, because again, your local police department is doing this background. So they might have some issues where they might need a little more time. It's saying here that concealed carry permit applicants need to have been fingerprinted for firearms purposes in New Jersey and assigned an SBI number before they can apply for a concealed carry permit. So if you've never been fingerprinted for firearms purposes in New Jersey, you have to start with an initial application for an ID card here. So like I mentioned before, if you've never been printed in New Jersey for firearms, maybe you've been printed for being a soccer coach or a teacher or some other reason, you have to be fingerprinted for firearms. And if you've never been printed before for firearms, click here. And you click here, it brings you to FARS, Firearms Application and Registration System. I've done a whole video on this process. It's not that difficult, folks. And it takes you through what you have to do and setting up how to get fingerprinted and all that. So here's this process if you've never been printed for firearms in New Jersey. So we're going to X out of that. And then I'll just show you here also what it says is, you can find the permit to carry safe handling and proficiency certification and the use of force training document on the NJSP website here. So if you click here, brings you to their website. And then if you scroll down, these are forms to download. Go all the way down here to permit to carry. They're all right here. So you got the permit to carry application. These are, if you want to download this form, it's a PDF, fillable. This is the old paper application. And it's got all the questions that you're going to answer online. So if you want to review them, you can. Here are the instructions for the paper application, but it's pretty much the same process. It's just you're going to be doing it online now. Here is the permit to carry safe handling and proficiency certification. So if we click on this and open this up, this form here, again, it's what your firearms instructor is going to complete for you. And then you're going to have to upload this form. Also, additional handguns intended to be carried. This is a new form, SP 182A. So if you click on this and open this, this has a list of all your handguns that you intend to carry. So just keep in mind, there's no spot on this form for the firearms instructor. So this to me is more of a registration. They want to know all the handguns you intend to carry. So that's what this is. It's more of a registry. There's also a PowerPoint presentation that you have to go through if you haven't already. I'll click on it here and pull it up. It's also the same presentation you have to go through. PowerPoint's 29 slides. It's not that hard when you're applying for an ID card or a permit to purchase a handgun. So it goes through all safe handling and storage instructions. They also have at the end, there are laws on safe carry requirements and also restrictions on lawful carrying. So this is a PowerPoint. You can download that as well if you want. And there's also, this is very important, a permit to carry use of force and qualification. So this is a document they just released, and it talks about use of force for the private citizen, but what's important too here at the end is that they have the course of fire, which I did a whole video on this recently, and I'll put a link to it. They have a whole course of fire, which is pretty much identical to the police officer qualification course minus the night shoot. So, and of course, there's no shotgun or anything with that the police have to do, but this is pretty much what police officers do. And I did a whole video on this. I think this is a little bit much for private citizens. It's pretty much the retired police officer qualification that the RPO people have to go through twice a year. They have to do this twice a year, but this is the interim training requirements that the Attorney General's office has put out. I'm hoping that they modify this when they come up with the final comprehensive training program. I'm hoping that the qualification is not this extensive for concealed carry, because again, this is what police officers have to do minus a few things like the night shoot. They are the forms and the documents that you need. That's there. Okay, folks, so now we get back here. It also is telling you that if you've lived outside of New Jersey in the last 10 years, please fill out form SP66. Now, there's a reason for this. This is the mental health record search. They want to search to see if you've been involuntarily or voluntarily committed to a mental health facility in New Jersey. And you don't have to fill this out if you've lived here in the last 10 years, because they do a statewide check through the system. It's automatic. But if you lived outside of New Jersey in the last 10 years, this is a 10-year check on your address history. So in the last 10 years, if you've lived outside of New Jersey, so if you lived in Pennsylvania or New York or California, you have to fill this out, the paper form, to upload it. All the New Jersey facilities are checked online within the system, but outside of New Jersey, so if any address comes up in your background, like you lived in California and you didn't put it on here, your police department's going to want to know why, and you have to fill out this form. So also here, you can click here, folks. What will I need when submitting an initial concealed carry? It tells you your SBI number. That's the number you get when you're fingerprinted. Also, a recent photo on a light background, including head and shoulders. Okay, that's like a 2x2 JPEG or PNG. They have all the requirements when you start the application. One training record completed within the last 2 years. So it's got to be that SP form with the instructor's name and the qualification date. So the form we just showed, you have to have that completed already when you're doing an initial application. Personal information, including your social security number and your driver's license number. Any kind of background information, you know you're going to get asked these questions, and you can look at that form, that SP642, you can download it and see what questions they're going to ask you. If you're an armored car applicant, you need the employment letter that's going to have to be uploaded with this application. And also, you need contact information for 4 non-family related references. So you're going to need their names, their addresses, their email addresses, and their phone numbers for the application. You need any information on handguns that you intend to carry. So for example, if you have 5 handguns that you want to be able to carry at different times to pick and choose, you need model number, the make, model number, and serial number of each of those handguns and what the caliber is. So if it's a 9mm 45, for example. And you need a $200 application fee, which you're going to need to pay for with credit card. It's also saying, what do you need if you're just renewing? So if you're renewing, if you already have a permit to carry and you're renewing, you need your SBI number, last name, date of birth, for validation. What you're going to do is you're going to put that SBI number in with your last name and your date of birth, and it should be able to find you in the system. You're going to need one training record completed within the last 2 years, with the instructor's name and qualification date. Any updates on personal information. So if you have any changes to your personal information, you're going to need that information. A recent photograph on a light background, including head and shoulders, and any background information, any updates to any handgun information. If you bought a new gun in the meantime and you want to put that on the list, add that, then you need that information, and of course your $200 application fee. So that's it for this, folks. You click here when you're ready to go, when you have all this information. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go through it because I'm not actually going to apply for a concealed carry permit, or permit to carry as it's known in New Jersey. Of course, I see that they're now calling it concealed carry permits, which makes sense because unless you're an armored car or you're armed security or you have an RPO, you have to carry concealed in New Jersey. So they're all concealed unless you're working armed security or you have an RPO, retired police officer permit to carry. That is an unrestricted carry permit. So RPO people can carry openly or concealed, but everyone else, it's concealed carry. So it makes more sense to call it a concealed carry permit. So click here to start your application. And this is pretty much just like the other online applications with the New Jersey State Police. So the first thing you need, and here's all your sections that it's gonna take you through. The first thing you need to put in is that ORI that you have to get from your police department. If you don't have that, you can't do this application. That ORI will route this application through your local police department, and they are going to process the application through this system, your local police department. So that's why that's very important. So if you put the wrong one in here, you live in Atlantic City and you put Newark's ORI, it's going to go to Newark PD, and they're going to see that you don't live in Newark, and they're probably not going to do anything with your application, and it'll stay in there until the system purges it. And all your fees that you pay, you'll have to pay them again because nothing is refundable. So make sure you get the right ORI when you start this application. It's asking if you're applying as a prosecutor, a judge, or a member of the Office of the Attorney General. And they're also asking if you're applying as an armored car employee, or are you applying as a mayor or elected member of a municipal governing body. The reason they're asking these questions is because if you answer yes to any of these, it has to be a New Jersey State Police ORI. The New Jersey State Police does the backgrounds on all these different people here. So if you're a prosecutor, or armored car employee, or a mayor, the state police handle that. So if you put a local police ORI and then you click yes to one of these, there's going to be a problem because your local police does not do the background for any of these areas here. And then you have to upload a photo, and it's telling you right here, passport style color photo in civilian attire only, without wearing a hat or sunglasses. And it has to be 2x2 inch with a light background. So it's telling you what the supported file types are. So you click the upload button, it brings up file system on your computer so you can find that file. So if you need to do this from a desktop computer, and it's recommended, or a laptop, and then you can have that photo saved on your computer, and then when you click that upload button, you can find it and upload it. If it's not the proper format or the proper size or dimensions, it will not let you upload it. And then of course you would hit continue. Now I didn't click any of these, so if I hit no, it's not going to let me continue because I haven't done any of this stuff. So that's it, folks. I just wanted to show you the process, and again, I'll put these links in the description of the video, but that's it. And I'm not gonna take you through each question because it's the same as the paper application. It's also pretty much the same as the FARs. If you've applied for a permit to purchase a handgun or an ID card recently, you will remember all the questions you have to answer. They're pretty much the same. So you go through all this stuff and put your references in, and then you have to pay your fees, your $200 fee, and then of course it'll take you through, and it'll also give you email. You put your information and your email address in, and you will get notified when the application, if it's submitted successfully, you'll get a confirmation email, and then you'll get status updates through your email address that you put in for yourself. That's it, folks. It's online. It's a lot more streamlined now. Again, if there are any issues, your police department will contact you. If there are anything that they need to look into more, or they have questions on, or if you have any questions, you have to go through your local police department. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it with anyone you think will benefit from it. Also, subscribe to our podcast if you haven't done so already. Sometimes we can update the podcast quicker than we can update the YouTube channel. Also, consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so you know when we release new videos. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe.